Hello, my name is Michael Kraft, and today's video will be called 400-Year Prophecy about the end of slavery and mistreatment in America. Okay, I'm just going to get into this. Genesis 15:13, and he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Okay, now there are scripture verses for the word afflict, and I'm going to read them. Psalm 94:5. Alright. Psalm 94:5. Thy break in pieces thy people, O Lord, and afflict thine heritage. So basically, this is saying that God would afflict his own heritage. And how would he do this? By giving his people over to another people. Okay, so now we're going to go into Psalm 143:12. Okay. And of thy mercy cut off mine enemies, and destroy all them that afflict my soul, for I am thy servant. Now, we are supposed to be the servant of the Lord, yet our enemies are afflicting us. He's letting this happen because our ancestors did not follow the covenant, the laws, the statute, and the commandments. And now we're going to go into Amos 5:12. Amos. Amos 5:12. For I know your manifold transgressions and your mighty sins. They afflict the just, they take a bribe, and they turn aside the poor in the gate from their right. Now, when poor people are supposed to going the right way, we send them in a way that is the wrong way. And how you afflict the just, those people who just want to do right, you punish them, which is an affliction to them. And why would we need to bribe people? If people were just, they wouldn't need a bribe. But unfortunately, our people have degenerated into what we are now. Amos 6:14. Just a page over. But behold, I will raise up against you a nation, O Lord of Israel, O house of Israel, saith the Lord, the God of hosts, and they shall afflict you from the entering of Hamath unto the river of the wilderness. So basically he was saying from one part of the world where Hamath is to the other part where they would be going to try to escape and go to, and because the wilderness is South America, believe it or not, Brazil. Zephaniah 3:19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halteth, and gather her that was driven out. And I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. And black people, people who are known as black people, who are really Israelites, they have been put to shame in every corner of the earth. Basically, from the beatings, the floggings, the humiliation, our people have been put to shame. We can't hold our head up, yet people front like they can or are able to do so. And I guess people are going by fake it till you make it. So, Isaiah 51:23. Isaiah 51:23. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, Bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over. So the day is coming when our people bowing and scraping to these people will be over. And we'll be able to lift our heads up with pride. With the pride of the Creator had. Okay? I'm going to put this down. I'm going to put this, get this. Genesis 15:14. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. Now we're going to look up a reference for the word serve in Deuteronomy 28:48. Deuteronomy 28:48. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in all want of things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he hath destroyed thee. Now, I don't want to hear anything about the Slavs having been slaves to everyone in Europe, because those people are rich now. Okay? They have multinational corporations and things like that. This right here was talking about our ancestors. People who have light-skinned melanin to dark-hued melanin is talking about your ancestors. Not no Slavs, because a lot of us still have to put up with racism where you go somewhere and people are like, we're not hiring you at the moment. You can't work here. Okay? And it was our ancestors who came in to this country under this condition. Yokes of iron around their neck. It was those people. Okay. Alright. Now, Genesis 15:15. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace, and thou shalt be buried in a good old age. Abraham died at the age of 175. Okay, so him dying at that time, him dying at that age, at that time, more than likely God was trying to put over the point that, hey, Abraham would be long dead before this would happen. Okay, those of you who are chronologists and things like that, and you pretty much know that, yeah, Abraham's been long dead. Okay. Genesis 15:16. But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. Two things. When he said in the fourth generation, he didn't say which fourth generation. Just know 400 years is a generation to God is 100 years. So therefore, if you have 4 generations, you have 400 years. So it says fourth generation, but he didn't say when. Okay, so this is not talking about the Exodus or when they were in Egypt. No, this is talking about down to the end of time, because it says the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. Though there was something that the Amorites had to do, which their people became the Moors of Mauritania, and they sold our ancestors out at Tripoli. And it ended up that our ancestors went into slavery. The Amorites, being slick willy like they were, got out of it. Okay, this prophecy has yet to be fully fulfilled. We are still in America and have yet to see if 2050, the completion of 400 years, if we will be restored. We have been in America and have yet to be restored with all of our possessions. I will now show the truth, starting with the last verse using Bible scripture. Actually, 1650 was the official start of slavery, being shipped by boats from South America till 1865, a period of 215 years. So what I'm saying is it was from 1650 to 1865. That's how long the slavery was, 215 years. Now, okay. Matthew 24:31, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Matthew 24:32, now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender, and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. Matthew 24:33, so likewise when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door. Matthew 24:34, verily I will say unto you, this generation shall not pass until all these things be fulfilled. This is, of course, James the Just referring to the prophecy in Genesis 15:13 through 16. He plainly says that after 400 years, the elect of Israel shall be gathered by the angels of heaven. Now, I know it didn't say 400 years, but like I said before, if you have 100 years, this is a generation of God. If you have 200 years, this is 2 generations to God. If this is 300, you have 3 generations, that's 300 years to God. Or, I said it backwards, but if you have 4 generations, 400 years, that's 4 generations to God. Okay? So, we look at how much time it was since 1650. 1650 to 1750 is 100 years. Okay? 1750 to 1850 is 200 years. Okay? 1850 to 1950 is 300 years, and 1950 to 2050 is 400 years. That's 4 generations. So all we need to hear is, after that generation, that last generation in that 400 years. And he said it. And that's why I linked these 2 verses together. I say this because he refers to the 4th generation of Genesis 15:13 through 16. If not 2019 autumn, then 2051 autumn, because 400 years would have to be complete. So 2050 autumn seems more likely, since 2050 closes a 400-year cycle of slavery, oppression, and mistreatment. Matthew 24:35 through 39 tells us that no one will know the day or the hour, meaning the year, day, or season when this will occur. A possible reason for this is that it happened so fast that the earth is taken aback by it happening. Or it could be that most people learn the Roman way of prophecy and don't know what subtle clues to look for. I say this because it also says that the last days shall be like the flood of Noah. Before the flood came all were eating and drinking, giving in marriage. Then the judgment of the flood came and took them all away. Such will be the coming of the Son of Man, except a flood of fire shall cleanse the earth of the wicked Edomites. Now, when I say Son of Man, I do not mean Jesus. The reason why I do not mean Jesus is because for us to already be waiting for the Messiah, that means we're still dealing with death amongst our people and amongst everyone else. And basically, when the Messiah does come, there will be no more death. So, everything is going to be like Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed from heaven or the sky by fire. And America is going to be destroyed from sea to shining sea, pun intended, with fire and brimstone. Okay, so that is the last part of what I believe is going to be a 2 or 3 part series. So I'm going to stop the video here and get ready for part 2.